All right. We are live. All right. Addict, man. It's been an interesting last was it? I feel like 8 hours or so.
Yeah. I don't think we put 8 hours.
We didn't put 8 hours in the game, but we did take a 4-hour break. Had to go to sleep.
You had to go to sleep. I could have. We weren't even really that far from the end of the game, to be honest.
Yeah, because when we returned, we got like 2 hours in. 2 hours. I think 2 hours in. I think like 20 minutes or so. So if you guys weren't watching the stream that me and Addict did this morning, we did two. Started at 12 o'clock midnight, and then we did had one at 12 o'clock midnight, and then we did one at like 11 a.m. This morning to do like a complete like walkthrough or playthrough of the game of Way Out. And we did the stream, everything on stream, and then we just did some achievements offline, just to stack up some.
This is
stats.
An easy 1,000 gamer score.
Easy 1,000 gamer score. But Addict, let's just start with you. What are your thoughts? I'm looking at your score of this game. I gave my score right like during the live stream.
I think that this game does something different that most games don't try anymore, and that's interaction between players. The only time I've ever seen anything remotely close to this kind of interaction is like in a multiplayer Splinter Cell, and like that's all. Yeah.
The game actually, I didn't have like super high expectations for the game. I thought it was just going to be.
I completely forgot it came out today, last night. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be super cheesy, and I just wanted to, try the co-op experience. So like even though it was on my most anticipated games list, like that I tweeted out, I had it at like number I think 10 or 9 because like I said, I want to see what it's about and whatnot. But man, this game is literally like the ultimate co-op gaming experience I've ever played. I mean, and I guess it has to be since it was made from top to bottom for cooperation. There's no single player option. You can't play this game by itself. In a way that it works, the way that it's being played, it's just impossible for it to be played solo, man.
And it's just definitely how you said, man, like this game, especially how they completely, give you the option to who you want to play with. It's not necessarily, can both parties afford it. If you buy it, you can play with anyone you want to.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only time I've ever seen that happen.
Yeah. What was a couple things that you didn't like about the game?
I didn't like that I felt like the set pieces were fun, but like I didn't feel like they were immersive. Like, like Uncharted, like they make you think that you about to die unless you roll under that ship or whatever the hell they're doing. Like there wasn't really like you felt safe regardless. Like you didn't really feel like anything was dire. Until the end, the part with the bike thing, that was different. But up until that point, the set pieces were good, but they didn't really get you into that like running set piece.
I mean, I thought the set pieces were fine. And actually, the game does take a lot from other, whether it be movies or video games. Like I said, there's this Scarface moment in the game. It has a lot of similarities to things that were done in the Last of Us. A lot of things that were done in the latest Uncharted game and what they try to do is to get the set pieces right. And they did it. They mastered some of the stuff there, and I was like, holy crap! I wasn't really expecting this. And so I guess my thoughts, like I feel like you said you didn't feel like dire, like you're if you don't do this in time, you felt safe. I mean, personally, I can't say I've got that same experience. I thought they did a good job at making it like, oh, we're about to fuck this up.
I feel like they could have made the prison section longer because I feel like after you left the prison, that's like when the game started down spiraling for a little bit. Like it was still okay, but after you left the prison, I don't know if that's a non-spoiler. I mean, in the trailers it showed they weren't in a prison.
Yeah, they show you. I mean, you get out of the prison. That's like that was actually in the trailers. That's not like a spoiler or anything like that. Yes, this is a non-spoiler review. We won't be revealing anything. If you watch the stream, then the game's already spoiled for you. But the thing is, a thing about the game, there's multiple endings. Because, like I said, you don't have to. I didn't have to, win. I didn't have to win. The thing about, I guess, the story itself was, I enjoyed the story. The story made sense. I love the plot. But some of the things that just didn't really make sense to me is really, I guess, the reactions to the people you ran across. I
think the biggest thing this game can focus on is make the animations for characters, make that look better. I think they need to focus on do exactly what they did a ways out with the screen. They don't never need to get rid of that. That needs to be the studio's thing, is this screen tearing shit where the screen will literally move left or right depending on who has more of a role in that area. And that was when kid's sitting there and he's fighting someone on a crane, it will literally go to you barely see kid and it just shows my screen, and I had to get to him before this dude throws him off the crane.
This game, it offers. Oh man, how can I say this? It's just there's not a game really that really did any co-op like this.
I think, especially what Greek said, this studio needs to make a horror game with this same concept.
Okay, but explain your 8.5.
I just feel like I can't really go into too much of that. It would have got an 8 until I'm not going to spoil the ending or anything, but the ending itself gave it that extra point, that extra 0.5, because the game just, it's like I said, the only time that I was feeling okay, well, let's be real here, the shooting is kind of generic. Let's be real. The shooting definitely could be improved. The cover system was kind of trash. But besides that, the prison part was the highlight of the game to me.
Yeah, the my 80 or my 8 out of 10 score is I was you know what, the thing that all the stuff that it implements, the little mini games, we played the video game, we played darts, we played basketball, we play we sat on the swing, a lot of stuff that they implemented. Because the thing is, it's I feel like it's an expanded it's a Telltale game with more freedom, and
it's what Telltale should be.
Yeah, the problem is that, and you mentioned this when we were streaming, it doesn't really excel at all the stuff it tries to do. For example, the shooting is subpar. We learned that the hard way. The combat,
I feel like if they could have, I feel like if they would have found a way to put this game without the shooting, I feel like it would have been better. I think the shooting ruined the whole atmosphere of the game, because it came to the point where it's an adventure to where you're trying to do certain objectives to just shooting shit. And they did certain aspects of this game better than I see games like Uncharted do.
Yeah,
but it's when you get to that shooting part, I had a docket for that. The shooting was horrible.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, the only thing I give them for that is because throughout the whole, for 3/4 of the game, you're not using a gun. So it's not. This is not a third-person shooter. It's not a third-person action adventure game. This game is it's a puzzler. It's an adventure game. It's a strategy game. It's a lot of things in one, but the game itself isn't a shooter, and that's why I guess I'm not going to give them too much flack on having a weak gameplay mechanic when it came to its cover-based shooting or how you shoot. Because remember, we have unlimited ammo in the game, so I couldn't really take the shooting parts any serious. I never felt in any real danger during the gun battles. I'll tell you that. And
now I feel like what would have made this game good, really a lot better. Is if they had a mechanic in it to where you had to beat the the objective of the whole game was to get to a certain spot. I feel like if they would have made that time sensitive, you only had a certain amount of time, and if you got caught in the prison, you got thrown in the shoe for a couple days, and you had to do stuff in efficient time to where you couldn't do that, or maybe, you know, have more freedom with the prison. And because, you know, I'm sure the people in the chat, you know, there's probably only one way to actually break out of the prison.
Yeah,
maybe gave that more of a freedom.
I don't know. You know, go ahead.
I feel like if they would have highlighted more on the prison than they did the rest of the game, because the game was good after the prison, but I felt like if you watched any of the streams, you would see I brought up multiple times. You don't feel like a fugitive on the run in this game.
Like, that is true. Yeah,
like it was kind of a joke.
Yeah,
like, walking into construction yards, like, yo, what's up? Like, you're not even looking like you're trying to run from the cops.
Yeah, like they were caught in all these public places. Like, hey, you know, we did just, you know, break out of prison, and then the interactions with like the wives and old girlfriends, son, it's just like this, just like, holy crap, you've been gone for so long. Like, you know what I mean? It's none of that. And that's what I thought where the story took a hit. The story itself was good. It's just the characters and how the character development could have been much better.
Like if they would have put a point, like, you know, with the hospital thing was good. I like that. They needed more of that.
Yeah.
We like, because the characters, when you get to a part in the game with a hospital, they actually separate. Both the characters separate, and I like that. It like kept like going from one camera angle to another, showing what's going on. This, and it was only time in the game where you only play as one perspective of a character.
Yeah, but my thing is, because how did you feel about the split screen? Did the split screen itself bother you?
I thought that was going to bother me when I saw that at first, but I think that's what made this game what it is.
Yeah, because there was this nice balance.
They're like, the only people I've ever seen will usually
and
use
I'm
the
playing
screen.
Yeah, and I'm playing on a smaller screen. I'm playing on, like, I was using, between the two times we been running through the game, I've been using my monitors, and these are what, 28 inches at best. And the thing is, and there were some times during the game where the screen didn't split just two ways. It was split like 3 ways, I think 4 ways at some point, and then obviously there's the times where it gets a single screen for when it's focusing on one character.
And there were some times where we were in the same screen.
Yeah. So, and I think they whoever did that, they did a masterful job. Yeah,
they need to build, and I think the director is actually in the movie industry too. So I think that's the reason the game was good in that area.
Yeah,
I don't feel like the screen at one point in time ever in this whole game was an issue.
Yeah, that is correct. That is correct. Because I remember when they first announced it, I was like, I don't know about playing a co-op game where you're split screen 100% of the time. But it worked. It worked, and I definitely enjoyed this. Like, where do you think that the studio can go from there? A game like this, I don't know if you get a sequel. I guess you kind of just make different versions of it.
They need to take the people who make Until Dawn approach and just make new scenarios and just make interactive cut games, because as of right now, Until Dawn was the best interactive game I played besides Life is Strange. This game might have just took that. This
is definitely up there with Until Dawn and Life is Strange. Until Dawn was that was a special game. The only reason
I really liked Until Dawn is because, like, they weren't fucking joking Until Dawn. Like, you don't pay attention, a bitch is dead.
Yeah, consequences. Yeah, the moral, mortality factor, and the fact that you were always in danger of losing someone by just not paying attention.
I literally on that game, I didn't stream it because that was before I really started streaming games consistently, but when I was streaming, when I was playing Until Dawn, I accidentally didn't pay attention when I was playing as the Asian chick.
Yeah.
And I went to get a drink while she was running. I didn't pay attention. She got grinded up in a meat grinder.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It got to the point where I was like, well, I hated that bitch anyway.
So, any lasting impressions you got on The Way Out?
They need to make more of these. Like, I want maybe not a continuous on this franchise. If they wanted to, I don't think they can because, you know, just especially how this game's structured. But it's just like, you know, someone in the comment section earlier, they need to make a horror game with this. Maybe instead of 2, put 4 people, and it's like an interactive scene in like a locked abandoned house where like once you die you're dead, and it's like you can work together. I think that would. I don't think, you know, people say that there's too many of these games. I don't think that's the case. I don't think there's too many good of these kind of games.
Yeah.
Most of the time, you know, unless Telltale makes them, and Telltale's, let's be real here, Telltale's the king at the story shit, but they're horrible at the gameplay shit.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're a one-trick pony. They found they're modeled and nothing changes. The only thing that changes is the story itself. But I mean, I play pretty much Telltale games, literally, you know, just for the achievements nowadays.
Especially like the teamwork you had to do. Like I will say this one thing. It's only like the first 30 minutes of the game where we had to pass the little shank from cell to cell when they were tossing our cell, and they're like stuff like that I've never seen in games. Yeah. It's
it was crazy. So my lasting really impressions on this game is that, like I said, my score is a 8 out of 10. The cons were really the half-ass shooting mechanics and the
it felt like that was just added on, and this is a budgeted game, so I definitely understand.
Yeah, but as far as the story itself and the implementation of their co-op is just masterful. I feel like it's never been done before, and
I really would like more directors like to start directing games instead of movies, because this is what happens when that happens.
Yeah,
because you know, people keep saying. You know, they make fun of me when I say this is one of the reasons that Sony does so well when it comes to marketing and making these you know, these scenes in like Uncharted, because they literally own a movie directing.
Yeah, they Sony Studios. Yeah, they have a movie company as well. So, yeah. Otherwise, this is like definitely the ideal co-op experience I would like to have in the future. I recommend everybody, like, if you want a co-op experience and a quick one too, try this game. Not something I would like suggest with strangers. I like, you know, make sure you have a person that you want to, you know, spend an afternoon with playing with. This is the game to do.
This is that kind of game you buy with your broke friend that don't want to buy it, and you just like, come on in, man. Come on.
And for achievement and trophy hunters, this is not a game that you beat and earn all the achievements.
If you don't want to replay it, I would look up a guide.
You
get it in the first time going through.
Yeah,
but you need to know where to actually get the achievements.
Yeah, the achievements and trophies are like completely optional things. They're not anything that really has to do with the story or with your objectives. It's usually the stuff that comes up during like the free time when we're free roaming and talking to people. And a lot of these achievements we missed that we were actually in front of if we had just said something or like interacted with some of the things. So the achievements, however, are pretty easy once you know what they are.
We got like what, 30 minutes?
Yeah, we got like 4 and like 30 minutes.
I think it takes longer for the game to load up to the section of the map than it does to actually get the achievement.
I think there's only one really severe story related achievement, and that's obviously how you end the game, and then they reward you with something on that front, but we won't reveal that. Otherwise, I mean, that's it for me. I mean, the game's replay value to me is only related to achievement. So after I get the 100% on it, or at least 80%, I probably won't be touching it. But
to be honest, like, it was $30. Like,
it is.
And it's a story game first off, so you can't really have you know, there's very few games that's in the single player oriented field that actually has a lot of replayability. Like very few. And I feel like games like this need to surface more. Like, I would encourage everyone watching this. Like, look, it's $30. These are the kind of games that need to be supported to compete with the $60 rehash of the same games for years and years. Like, games like this, Hellblade, like, these are the games that need to be supported so you actually get better studios in the future.
Yeah. But yeah,
because who knows? Helllight, Hazelight, they might be one of the best interactive movie game studios in the next 5 years.
Yeah, that's who did this game. Hazelight. Okay, Hazelight, and this is published by EA, right?
Yes. I don't think the next one's going to be published by EA.
Well, yeah. Why?
because it just seems like this, like, not bad blood, but he doesn't seem like a very PE friendly, PR friendly person. It seems like it'd be a disaster to PR for this dude. I mean, come on, he did go on.
Fuck the Oscars.
See, but I feel like him making that probably sold this game better.
Yeah.
He stood out at the Game Awards.
Yeah, that's all everybody remembers. The thing is that this, like I said, this is, as far as studio, it feel like we just played really an interactive movie. For those who keep asking about the Bloodborne stream is coming. You know, be there, and I'll be up in like an hour with this. Let me live a little bit of a regular life, and then I'll be back on there.
There's more to Kid's channel than Bloodborne. Like, he's gonna be doing it for a little bit, but
yeah.
You know, you guys got to calm down on that shit. Man.
Yeah,
they got that shit.
I got. Also, I have other what you call it, stuff that I have to do and related to streams and reviews. That
and then you have Planet Xbox. Pretty much every Wednesday you can't do a Bloodborne stream. I mean, we still review games, so he's got to do that. Yeah,
but I'm ready to get out of here. You got anything else to say before we coast off?
Good, man. Definitely, I just recommend everyone buy it, man. I recommend it.
Yes.
$30, you can't go wrong. Definitely Planet Xbox approved.
Oh yeah, Planet. That's what I said in the stream. Planet Xbox approved. Definitely. All right, but we about to be out of here. And peace.
Peace.